I want to welcome everyone to another Swim with the Sharks episode here on schoolofsharks.com. It is an absolute pleasure to have everyone on board today. As a quick reminder, we are using StreamYard, which is a service that allows us to do a lot of really cool things, including broadcasting and a lot of various aspects. But we want to know when you comment or when you submit your questions. So if you could please do me a favor and give permission to StreamYard so that we can know exactly who you are, and then that way, we can kind of interact a little bit better with the audience. My name is Dan Diaz. I am your host. I am super excited about the guest that we've got on board today. She is a fan of the show as well as a good friend. And before I bring her on board, I really want to do a small introduction to her background. She has worked very hard over the years to really hone in on the skill of developing a high-end flipping home business model. She, by her own words, has learned by trial and error. She loves the final reveal of each finished product. Bettina Arredondo, she started with a dream of flipping homes and building financial wealth for her and her family. She still loves to travel all over the country to continue learning and connecting and networking with other real estate professionals in her field, as well as being a successful and a coachable individual. She's grateful to all her friends, family members, and mentors that have supported her as she strives to be where she is today. Because of her passion to help and teach others, she's able to create multiple streams of income in real estate. She's created her own coaching program to share her vision in real estate investing and flipping homes. Bettina is also a board member of the local W.R.E.I.A, Women's Real Estate Investors Association. For those of you who don't know, if you're a lady in the audience in the group, please join. Her love for her family and faith is the driver in her business. She is passionate about walking through every stage of the construction and design process and bringing life back into every home that she touches. Her dream is to continue to inspire other people to pursue their dreams and to say yes to new risks and opportunities in real estate investing. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please allow me to introduce Bettina Arredondo. Bettina, the
Hey.
floor is yours. Introduce yourself.
Hey guys. Oh my gosh, I'm super excited to be on today. Thank you so much, Dan, for just this opportunity. And I'm ready for all the questions to just share. I'm always an open book, so I'm ready to get this started.
Super excited. Now, we do want to know where you guys are from. So in the comments section, if you don't mind, maybe commenting the city that you're in. And if you're an active real estate investor, please also tell us a little bit about your focus and what it is that your specialty is. We always love getting to know the community. For those of you who may not be familiar with School of Sharks is an online platform that is dedicated to connecting quality educators and quality education from people who are actually doing the work with individuals who are wanting to learn. We believe in sharing. We believe in interacting and connecting with everyone. As a matter of fact, sharks is the term that you're going to hear me use very often. And it's not just a buzzword, right, Bettina? It's not just something that you kind of throw out there. To
Yeah.
me, it's something that stands for someone who S, succeeds mercilessly, H, hates mediocrity, accepts no excuses, R, resolves to be action takers, K, kills their bad habits, and S, shares what they learned here. We have a motto: alone I can go fast, together we can go far, but united, guys, we can go farther faster. And that's kind of the platform of School of Sharks. When it comes to real estate investing, no one knows it all. No one has the monopoly. And we bring together seasoned sharks like Bettina today so that she can share a little bit of what she has learned and her wisdom. And the only thing we ask in return, guys, if you like what you hear, like and share to your personal platforms and other social media outlets. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start with a few questions, if that's okay. I'd
Yeah.
love to start off getting to know a little bit about your strengths. What do you think is one of your biggest strengths as a business owner and investor?
Honestly, I think for me, it's always been having that persistence and not giving up. I mean, for those who know my story, I had zero experience in this business, and but I did have a will to be able to put myself in a position where I can actually help support my family. And so I think for me, being able to have the vision of what I ultimately wanted and then having that consistency and persistence to make sure it actually happened. It did take me a while, it didn't happen overnight. But honestly, I felt like having that no matter what business you do, I think it's super important. I feel like I have that. It took me a while to actually like grow it because it started really small, but having that just that mindset, I think overall was has been a big thing for me in my business.
Yeah, that's super, super important. I really do appreciate what you said, that it's your desire to grow, and I really have to hand it off to women like yourself because I don't know if you're comfortable with me sharing this, but you're a mom. You know, you've got other people that depend on you on a very personal level, but yet you're still building a business. You're providing an outlook for the future. You're being an excellent role model to your kids, you know, so that's pretty special. We got a question from Mr. Ray Pantak. How old will you go on buying a house, and what about added space that was not permitted? Sometimes it is just a crap add-on. Have you had to do any add-ons in some of your rehabbing, and do you mind touching a little bit on that?
Yeah, we had to do it once, but I think because of the process, as far as for me, I mean, I have done full blown renovations before. It takes a lot longer. And for me at the time, it was holding up my crew for too much. So I have done it. And whenever it comes to adding on additional square feet, I mean, just know that you're going to be adding more time, not only for your sell date, right? But then also if you're using hard money. But for older properties that I think your question too was on like the square feet that's not permitted. If you're noticing whenever you're walking a property, it shows, let's say online or on the appraisal district that it's like, let's say 500, but you're walking like, oh my gosh, this is way more than 500 square feet. And what it's showing on that, it's you can tell there's a difference. More than likely, it probably wasn't permitted. So what I normally do, I'll go onto the city website. I'll see if there was a permit pulled for adding additional square feet. If it's not on there, maybe you want to go in and maybe talk to someone about it or jump on the phone. But that's when, and then they'll want to come, of course, do the inspection and then check behind the walls. And then a lot of times they want to open up the walls and see, make sure all that stuff is done correctly. Because who knows if it was done right? And that's the thing. But that is a process. It is a long process. I've gone through it so many times, but that's kind of whatever I just focus on a certain niche or criteria on what properties I buy.
That if you guys missed it, she just said it, but she just dropped a massive golden nugget. If you guys are wanting to get into the flipping space, and that has to do with doing your homework and finding out if the permits were pulled.
Right.
Were they pulled? Now, I don't flip, so my hat's off to you and to people like you. But let me ask you something. If you find out that an addition was done and it wasn't permitted, how big of an issue can that be? Is that something that can be resolved, or what do you got to do on your end to kind of fix that situation?
Well, first of all, you want to get paid for the amount of square footage that's in there. So if you want to go on and sell that house, let's say on technically, look for that 500 square foot house, that's all you can, not legally, but that's all you can sell it for. You can't sell it for the thousand that it is. So of course we're going to get a lot more money if we list it for the 1,000 square feet that it is. So it might be best for you to then go through that process that the person should have before, but knowing your numbers before, doing that research before, when you're initially walking the property for either a wholesaler that sends it to you or maybe one of your own leads. Hey, maybe and also invest in those little laser footage finders that you can maybe do your own square feet. invest in that and see for yourself, like, okay, what I'm seeing here online on the appraisal district is the correct what I actually see in person. Look at that. And then obviously, if you want to get paid more, I highly recommend to go and do the additional process, because it is a process. I mean, and of course, for me, no matter what, I want to make sure that I'm producing and putting out there good product on my houses. I want it safe, because I don't want it to come back on me and bite me at the end. And then it's just like, Bettina, you were the flipper. You're the one that did this. Why did you sell this house if it wasn't even safe? So always recommend to make sure that it was done correctly.
Yeah. You have to make sure that it's done correctly. You're the last person that they're going to chase, and they're always going to see the rehabber, the flipper, as the big bad guy that should have done everything right. They're never going to go back to the original seller. Let's talk about challenging weaknesses. What would you say is one of your most challenging weaknesses? It's time to open up.
Right? Oh my gosh. Okay. So I think the biggest challenge and weakness is, we all know this, is that the market right now, to try and even find a good property, is one of the biggest weaknesses for end buyers, for house flippers, right? And that always turns into like, okay, do I have a team to support what I'm trying to do, right? To get my own leads directly from seller. So I used to have an in-office team, a big team. I had about 8 people on my team specifically looking for and it was just for me. It wasn't for anybody else. Like, I wasn't looking for leads for any other investor. It was just for me to build my business. And so I think for me right now is, I scaled down. Obviously, after COVID, we had to no longer have an office team. And then the vision of my business shifted. And so we were wholesaling in the beginning of COVID, but then got back into, once the market started going up, of course, for flippers, it was like the best time for us, right? So getting back into that. So for me right now, I would say the lack of leads. And I don't have that big team like I used to fuel my business, because I'm ranking back up into like doing 5 to hopefully 10 flips at a time. That is my ultimate goal for my business. So if you're a wholesaler, I'm buying. So
Shameless plug. I love it.
I have to. Shameless plug. But I would say, like, having my own leads, because I don't have that system right now. Maybe in the future I may. But I think the lack of leads to fuel what I'm wanting to do with, the people that are with me, as far as partners or investors, we need more. And it's hard when you don't have a team.
Yeah, absolutely. I can definitely understand where you're at. Guys, we'd love to know where you guys are from. So in the comments section, if you can please tell us your market, and if you're an active investor, what is your area of specialty? We want to get to know you guys. And also, if you guys are liking, what's happening on here, please do me a favor. And right now, go to the share button, share this to your personal walls, like and comment. We always love to see that love, for sure. Ray's got a question. How do you find and keep good contractors?
Oh man, I wish I had the magic freaking words to say on that one. Even if I have that same issue, I am my own GC. I used to own a GC company, for those that knew that, with my ex-husband, but no longer anymore. So now I'm redoing that whole thing, because I know the process of it. But it's never going to change, unfortunately. And unless you have that one go-to, and it's very rare to find them. But I do find different trades, though. Contractors and trades are a little bit different. But I do have my own trades that I go to. I often go through them and maybe rotate them out. But that's why, if y'all notice me, if y'all do follow me, I consistently always look for new trades out there and recommendations, always, because I want to go through, whenever I do bids, I have 2 VA assistants right now, but one of my assistants will literally blast a whole, let's say 5 to 10 people for one job, drywall, blast, paint, blast. I want to see who you are. I want to talk to you. I want to know your numbers. that's just what I do on every single project. And the more and more I get to know them, the more I can see that they prove to me, then they get added to the top of my list on my process and my system. And then I know those are my go-to people.
Man, I love that. So you very much act like your GC.
Yeah.
Now, I'm just gonna take a shot in the dark, but I imagine that that's part of the reason for your success when it comes to the high level of awesomeness. Guys, if y'all don't know her flips, and I don't know if you're comfortable, if you're able to, if you're okay shooting out addresses, but her flips are like phenomenal. Y'all need to go to Zillow and be like, oh my God, she did that? And why is she not on HGTV?
I did get pitched twice.
I
got pitched twice by HGTV, but I had to turn it down.
I'm telling you guys, I mean, her flips are just phenomenal. So obviously we want to praise her for that, hats off. But also, if that's what you want to get into, connect with her. Find out what it is. Right now, she's talked about going to the city and finding out if the permits were pulled for unpermitted spaces. Right now, she also dropped another golden nugget. She doesn't really hire out entire jobs to GCs. She very much acts like her GC, and she looks for trades. And I imagine you manage those trades, so you got to be always, keeping eyes on that. Ray wants to know, do you ever JV with new people in the San Antonio area? How far out will you go? Within 50 miles of San Antonio? I feel like he's got a deal for you.
I know. Hey, you know what? And I recently, only because Charles Hernandez really pushed me to, I was very conservative on my partners. I do have a specific way that I do, so that y'all know. And it's just crazy, I know, but it took me a while to get here. But I literally flip houses with zero money out of my own pocket. Zero. Nothing. What I do is out of my own bank account. Everything else is other people's money. That's how I leverage everything. And people are like, what? I'm like, yeah, I make money out of other people's money, but they make money off of me because of what I know, right? So it's a trade-off. It depends on how involved you want to be and the percentage of what you want. It depends person to person. All of my private investors, obviously, depends on what we work out. But I'm more than willing to look into that. If you have money and don't have the time, I have people that I leverage for time and the knowledge. And so we can definitely look at that. So, Ray, let me know. Hit me up, and I'll be more than happy to go over that with you.
Love it. Love it, guys. All right. Let's talk a little bit about accomplishments. What accomplishments are you most proud of? And here, it can be business. It can be real estate, but I really want the audience to get to know you. What accomplishments is Bettina most proud of?
I think, to be honest with you, and everybody knows, those who do know me, I'm an open book. I have literally hit rock bottom twice in the past 6 years for personal reasons, stuff that I never anticipated before. I think the overall accomplishment is, for me personally, is just getting back up and running all the way back to the top. It was easier the second time around. And this was just, not even joking, just last year. For those who know my personal story.
And no, it wasn't COVID.
No, it wasn't COVID, but it all happened during COVID. I literally lost everything I worked hard for, from my marriage, but literally like starting all over again. I think, again, overall, just once I went past that emotional season, which we all go through life, I had to start all over. And knowing where I was before, I'm like, how can I do this on my own now? I always thought I had to be successful with a partner, with a spouse, with someone like loving next to me. But thankfully, I had amazing people like yourself and other good friends I reached out to for that support, because I needed it. I'm not going to lie. I really needed it because it hit me hard. And I was able to race back to the top. So I started flipping again, because I went through the whole legal battle of the whole thing, right, up until about May. So finally, when I was able to flip again, I started. And so since May, I've been able to flip 4 houses at once. And so I'm looking for more. So I'm like, I know I can do it. I know I can. It's just, getting back up in there. And we're all human. We all go through our stuff, no matter how, we've done in the past. But I think overall, I can truly say that I've done everything I can to support my daughter, because she's my number one, and also for my future and other people that I can help. But thankfully, during that time, though, and I know, Dana told you that, I was able to do what I've always wanted to do, which was coach. I didn't have time in the past. I literally didn't. But I was able to do that during that time, and I was able to give and help other people do what I love. And then whenever I was ready to legally get back into it, I just went full force. So
Love it, love it, love it, love it. It's not always that someone gets the opportunity, and I'm using that to give it a positive spin, but the opportunity to reinvent themselves and to start from scratch. And for you to have been able to do it at such a young age is really, really, inspiring. And twice. And the second one in the middle of COVID, when the world is falling apart. So kudos to you. Good job, guys. If you guys are loving the content and you're digging it, please do me a favor, like and share to your personal walls and to your real estate groups. That's the only reason that we're here. We want to continue with the questions for sure. And along these lines, I'd like to know, what do you enjoy most about being a business owner and a real estate investor? What makes Bettina smile?
man, I think overall, from even whenever I was like, I had a show on Propelio, and then all the way up until now, I think whenever I and sometimes I'm very vulnerable when I feel called to, when I feel led to, I'll do some posts out there kind of sharing what I'm feeling that I feel like I have to share with everybody else. When people send me a private message back and just say, wow, that really hit me today, I really needed to hear that like right now. Inspiring people. And I don't feel like I'm on a platform. I feel like I want to go further, because I want to hit more people and share with them that you have the biggest potential. And all you need is just the information. But for those who want more, can have more. There's nothing stopping you but yourself. And I've learned that the hard way. But I think overall, honestly, I feel like what I enjoy the most being a business owner and investor is inspiring others that they can do the same, because I am no special. And I had zero background in real estate. I mean, I was a police officer for G6. Like, I am not the one to say like, oh yeah, I had all this experience or I grew up in that. I mean, no, I grew up in the south side of San Antonio. I went to high school. That was the high school that I went to. I love all my people, but there was pregnant girls in high school. Majority of, it was just where I was, right? But I just love inspiring people and knowing that they can do so much more for themselves.
Love that, love that, love that for sure. Love that for sure. And it shows, it shows in the way that you give, and your authenticity, and the genuine character, that you always have. So for sure. Now, while we were preparing for the interview, I do recall that you told me about a pretty special, memorable deal. I think the audience would love to hear about it. Do you mind sharing it?
Yeah. So, man, how long ago was that? I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago. So this was a referral deal. My mom's friend was going through a divorce. She had a huge house, like almost 3,000 square feet. It was huge. It was out in the country. For those that know, past Elmendorf, right?
Mm-hmm.
Going towards Corpus Christi. So out there, out in the boondocks where I grew up. And there was a property out there. And I think I got it for like $75K. She was just like, but it was so big. It was so massive. It was just her. And I remember at the time I was going to dip into the wholesaling, for those who know about wholesaling, right? So I was going to wholesale this out and be like, man, this had so much skin on the bones. I was just like sending it to everybody I knew at the time. Like, oh my gosh, this is such a good deal. You should buy it. And everyone saw it, but they saw it as just like it was needed too much work. And I'm like thinking, what are you talking about? It just needs paint and fixtures, but people were just seeing the size of it. They weren't seeing anything else. So I remember my husband at the time, he was just like, just sell it. Like, why are you keeping that? We need to get rid of it. And I got lowballed like crazy. And I'm like, no. I know my numbers on this one. Okay, fast forward a month later, I was like, you know what? So I took my crew all the way out there. I had them do the interior and exterior paint. We updated the fixtures, the doorknobs and the lights, and that's it. Guys, and I made over $100K on that thing. $100K. Easy. It was maybe $15,000, maybe $20,000. And that's it.
So let me again. I'm sorry to interrupt. So you bought it for 70?
5,000. Yeah.
You put about $15,000 in rehab.
Yep.
You took care of some interest because, of course, you used private money. There was a little bit of holding costs. And then you went ahead and sold it for how much?
Gosh darn it. I mean,
you made almost or over 100,000. Wow.
Over. And that deal put me on the map. And that's when I got on Propelio and I was just like, but I just kept on saying, why don't y'all see it? Run your numbers. Look at your numbers. Like the numbers are there. And I wasn't so I was like, you know what? I'm not going to beg you to make money on this one. I'll make it myself. Okay, you weren't going to willing to take it. That's fine. So I just took it down myself and made some money.
And I love it. So one of the lessons that I'm learning as I'm listening to you again is this: if you're a wholesaler, if you are primarily a wholesaler, you need to learn how to be able to buy deals.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're going to have deals that either you have a really big assignment fee and you're just trying to push it for a different number, or people just don't see the vision that you're seeing it. Well, don't let it go. Don't cancel the contract. Learn about hard money. Learn about private money. Learn about seller financing. Learn about subject to property acquisition. Learn about creative financing so that you can take the deal down yourself. And I don't want to get into your financials, but would you say there's a ton of single family home deals that generated you over $100,000?
Oh my gosh. That's why, why do you think I'm still flipping? Hello, it's in the numbers, you know what I mean? So it just makes sense. But I get it. There's a lot of fear on not understanding the hard money part, not knowing who to trust. I get that all the time from my students. But how do I know that they're legitimate? How do I know it's not a scam? How do I know, I understand that. But doing the research, talking to people, asking for recommendations, and there's a way that I do it specifically, that's what's helped me. But you got to know, if a lender's going to lend to you and you're not confident in your numbers, one, ask other people that you know that are willing to help. And if not, the lender will, if he's lending on it, that means your numbers are good. Okay, because if not, they're not going to lend on a bad deal. Obviously, they're not going to take that risk, right? So if a lender is lending to you, you're good, and they'll verify their numbers and they'll run it and they'll let you know. You can ask them, hey, by any chance, what ARV did you get? I just want to make sure, I can list it at the highest I can, and they'll tell you if they're cool with you.
Man, massive nuggets being dropped. That's just another reason why you want to get to know your lenders, whether it's hard money lenders or other professional lenders. They are a second pair of eyes. I'll tell you something, Bettina. I usually pretty much close all the deals that we put under contract. I'm not terribly involved into wholesaling, but I will use my hard money lenders that I know are more that maybe do a lot more deals and have a second pair of eyes to look at them. And I'll tell them all the time, hey, take a look at these numbers, take a look at this address, take a look at this deal. What do you think? And 9 out of 10 times their answer is going to be, we'll buy it or lend on it if you're going to pass off on it. And it's like, no.
Yeah. I too. Are you sure you want to keep it? I'm yeah.
Sometimes you just need a little confirmation. Alma Flores, that's the power of different things. Looking where others don't look. Manuel Campa, I know my numbers on this thing. When you know, You know, this has happened to me 5 times where everyone tells me to keep walking. Facebook user. Let's go, Bettina. Who are you, Facebook user? You got to let StreamYard kind of give a little bit of permission. Sohail has a new name for you, the diva of living.
I like it.
I like that. And of course, Mr. Apanta, great story, man. That is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. That's a great story, great deal of how things really kind of turn about. Now, there's quite a few of our audience that either haven't done their first deal or maybe are very fresh. If this is you guys, the next few minutes is definitely for you, because I want to hone in into Bettina's experience. And there's 2 questions that I really want to ask her, and I want you guys to pay attention. The first question is, what words of wisdom can you share to somebody who is just starting out? Either they don't have any deals, or maybe they just have 1 or 2 deals under their belt, or maybe they're transitioning. Maybe they have rental properties, but now they want to transition into flipping, or maybe they were flipping and now they want to transition into owner financing or buy and holding or small apartment complex. What words of wisdom can you share with someone who is starting out?
Man, I think it goes back to not just mindset, because I feel like 90% of us have this issue. When I first started, I wish I would have sought out the people that knew what they were doing instead of me trying to figure it out myself. You know, I feel like I wasted a lot of time in the beginning of my career because hey guys, like, again, I think we talked about this. So I'm a former law enforcement. I'm very strong-willed. I'm such a stubborn person too. And I don't want to hear it from anybody. I want to figure it out on my own. And I know a lot of y'all like that because we're entrepreneurs. We're alpha people. It's just how we're wired. There's nothing we can do, but that's just how we think, right? That we can do it. Oh, I need to pay for this because, it's just a waste of my money. Do your research first before you hire someone, always. But I feel like for those who are just starting, depending on where you're at, if you're in a place in your life right now, like I was 6 years ago and I was last year, where I need to make it happen today, I need to figure out how to get there today, because there is a way to happen. Like if you want to start flipping, if you want to get into wholesaling, owner finance, it doesn't matter. Find the right people that can help you. Now, the second thing that I learned is paying for people's time. There are some people that will give you nuggets here and there, yes, for free. But I've invested probably way over $100,000 in the past 6 years on hiring mentors, coaches, businesses, companies, systems and processes. How do I do this? How do I scale? Like, I want to know how I can work smarter and not harder in my whole business. But I think a lot of people, what we see on YouTube and on all these different things is general. There's a lot more detail into owning a business. And as a female, then there's not a lot of this out there. And I think this is why I was so passionate and why I joined the Women's W.R.E.I.A here in San Antonio, is because we have to do things differently. I love seeing dudes out there, guys out there, like, oh yeah, I'm here till 8 at night and I'm hustle and I'm grinding it out. And bro, I wish I was there, but I got to go home and pick up my daughter from school, make her dinner and do homework. It's different for us, especially as a single mama, right? But I do hustle whenever I can, you know what I mean? So I think overall, look at what you want. Number one, look at your vision, what you want in the future, whether it's in 3 months, whether it's 6 months or a year. What are you looking for? Don't get distracted by the noise. Focus on what you're looking for, okay? And then start looking at that and then start creating a plan. Once you create a plan, okay, this is what I want to do. If you can financially afford to seek out a mentor or coach or a program or a course, do that. Because if not, you're going to be like Bettina. You're going to waste a whole bunch of time where I could have been making money to support my daughter and my family a lot sooner. Don't let that ego or don't let that alpha kick in. Just let it go. And you have to just learn to absorb and learn from other people who are already there. But that's what I would do. And then on the last thing, at the end of the day, we all struggle with it. I still do. I have to do daily checks. Like, where is my mindset today? Like, if I feel like crap and I don't want to do anything, there are those days. I have to remember, why am I doing this, and knowing that my efforts produce my income, me right now today. So if I'm not doing anything today, I'm not going to get paid today. Okay. I don't have a 9 to 5. Yes, there is some pros on that, on having, because it's consistent. But guess what? I can make a lot more money in one day that you can just sitting at your desk. No offense, but I can. I know I can, because I know how. But I have, like, obviously you have to have the education to do that. But if I don't do anything today, I'm not going to make any money. So that's my fuel to push and to hustle and to work until I know I can get to a place. So I was supposed to retire in a couple of years. That's where I was building my business before me and my ex, were no longer together. But I have a different goal now. And so that's what I'm pushing to. I'm not going to work until maybe, I'm kind of crazy and I love working. I'm addicted to it. Like, I love this business.
None of us are retiring ever.
Right? It's hard. Because we know it. We know how to do it. But maybe scale it and delegate a little bit more. I still like to be, not a control freak, but I like to be in charge of what's going on. That's just how I am. But I know it wasn't just one, but I think it can never just be just one thing. But I kind of like where I'm at right now. That's what helps me daily.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. It's you have to have the vision, you have to have the plan, you have to have the vision and the focus.
Right.
So proud of you, especially being a mom, and being a great mom. I think anybody can be a mom technically, but to be a great mom and a successful business owner, that's phenomenal. Now, I'd love for you to hone it down.
Okay.
And really, really think about what practical application, what practical advice you could give someone on maybe on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. What practical advice can you share to somebody who is just starting out?
Okay. So practical advice, where I would start, as if you're looking for your deal, or maybe you've done a deal and you got stuck. How to get unstuck is, let's figure out first what market we want to hit and start focusing on how we're going to get that lead, right? So are you going to focus on you getting the lead yourself, right? And there's a process to that for you doing your marketing if you're going to find your lead. Or if you don't have that time, know where you're at and then look for someone who has leads. So that's where you would start practically in order to get to that next level and actually get a deal under contract, whether you're going to buy it or not. So that's what I will look for, because I think that's why we're all here. How do we get that next deal in making money? That's going to be practically where you need to focus on first. Get all this other stuff out of the way, focus, and just know, okay, what do I need to do today to get a deal under contract?
I love that. I have a phrase, and I think I picked it up. I want to say it was Graham Cardone. I probably heard it from him. He said, "Who's got my money? Somebody has my money today, and you got to make it a daily practice to find out who's got your money and how many steps away he or she is from you getting that money, and how many of those steps can you do today."
Mm-hmm.
And there's a few friends of mine who laugh, but every morning when I wake up, I'm like, who's got my money? Somebody's got my money. Maybe it's only $100, maybe it's 100,000. Don't know, don't care. Somebody has my money. So very similar application. You said, there's a deal. I need it. How can I get it? Who has it? Do I need to go farm it? Do I need to make calls? Do I need to make a team? Does someone else have the deal and I need to get a hold of it? How can that happen? I love it. I love that focus. Y'all are laughing. That Grant. Who's got my money? Somebody's got my money. I know somebody has my money today. Oh,
yeah.
Man. Guys, if you find value in what you see here, please like, share, comment, interact, share to your personal walls, share to your groups. The goal is to use School of Sharks as a platform to impact 100,000 lives in 1,000 days. That's 3 years. I can't do that on my own. I need you guys, if you see value in these weekly Swim with the Shark sessions, please, please, please like and share. Now, I got a special treat for everyone. Bettina has agreed to be a real giver during the following week. And here's a little bit of a hint of what she's going to be posting in the next 7 days. So I want you guys to kind of tune in and be aware of the material that she's going to be sharing. Friday, she's going to be giving us homework. What do we need to do over the weekend? And it's going to be a challenge. So you guys are going to have the opportunity to comment. Am I going to do that challenge for my family, my outlook, or my happiness? Saturday, she's going to post a separate challenge or lesson that she learned and how she overcame it. So she's going to be sharing a bit of information in regards to that. Sunday, another challenge for the group, how to jumpstart your week. One thing that she does, and she's going to challenge us to do it. Be on the lookout for that. Monday, she's going to be dropping bombs on negotiations, scripts, ninja techniques that she uses whenever she's talking to sellers to really, really lock up the deal. And of course, Tuesday, it's going to be personal tips that I've worked for her to boost her own business and can also help you boost your own. So guys, we have so much value to drop on you guys. If you guys are happy and ecstatic and excited about this, please like and share and comment and really make the algorithm and Facebook kind of work. Bettina, before we leave, I'd like to give you a moment to maybe share some thoughts and maybe let the audience know how they can get a hold of you if they'd like to. And the platform is all yours.
Yeah. So, man, thank y'all, everybody, for watching. I really appreciate everybody's support. So if you want to get hold of me, my info is down below, as you can see in that little ticker below. But also, I best respond on Facebook Messenger, honestly, because it's connected to my watch. So I have to look at it every single time. I also have a free guide on real estate investing for those maybe just, jumping in. I literally just updated it today. So go to my Facebook page, my personal Facebook account. You're going to see my link tree. Click on that, click on free guide, and it's for you. And that's how you can figure out, okay, where do I want to go? I'm super grateful for the School of Sharks. Thank you, Dan, for even bringing me on into this whole group. Guys, there's amazing people in this group giving amazing information, and I'm so excited to see there's a lot of amazing things in store, which I'm not allowed to say, but just know it's awesome, and I'm so excited that we get to share all this info with you. Just like you, I'm constantly learning and constantly want to do better and better and live an amazing life. So hopefully y'all will feel like that too. We can do it together. And that'd be so fun. But anyway, y'all have a great day. And thank you again, Dan.
Oh, I love it. Ray's going to hit you up with either a JV deal or something. I totally believe that. Before we leave, I want to leave you guys with a very positive message for you guys to ponder. Change your thoughts. Your thoughts produce your words. Change your words because your words produce your actions. Change your actions because your actions produce your habits. Change your habits because your habits produce your behavior. Change your behavior because it produces your results. Change your results and your outcome and your outlook will change. And you change these two things, your destiny will change. But it all starts with your thoughts. It all starts with your thoughts. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. Hope you guys have a great one, and we'll see you guys during the week. Take care. Thank you so much, Bettina. You have a great one. Bye-bye.
Bye.